It's Super Videos back at you for another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about violence to be toned down for the rest of Season 7. So some of you wanted me to share my opinions about this. So recently, Gale and Hurd, who's one of the producers of The Walking Dead, did an interview where she basically said that they're going to be toning down the violence for the rest of Season 7 for the episodes that have not aired yet, so that the people who are complaining about the gore and the violence would be satisfied. So there's two ways this could go. One is that she's just bullshitting it and it's not true. And the second scenario is that she's actually telling the truth. So I'm going to be looking at it from these two perspectives. So if she is in fact lying and just saying this so that the people who are complaining can sit back and think that the violence has been toned down. So it's like reverse psychology, telling them that there's not a lot of gore now, we took a lot of gore out. Then they'll look at it and be like, okay, if this is what it's gonna look like without the gore, then what did it look like with the gore? And they're gonna be happy that they took out the gore. And even at that point, I think they're still gonna complain. So if that's the case, if she did in fact lie, I still think that it's a bad move. So if she lied, that means that she cares about ratings and about complaints like that so much that she went out of her way to address it and to make up a lie. So even if that's the case, I truly think that they messed up, because that would mean that they care about the ratings and these people who are complaining more than their actual fans and fans of the show. So if you are a fan of the show and you read the comics, or if you just watch the TV show and you're a big fan, you're not gonna care. You're gonna like what they give you because of the story, because of the emotional impact that it has. So even if it's gory, you're gonna like it because of that. So Glenn's death, a lot of people were very sad because of that death, and they were crying and everything. Most of that impact was because of how emotional and gory it was. If it was not that gory, and if it just showed Negan bashing someone's head in and not show you what they look like, it's not gonna have that same impact. So in terms of storytelling, it's going to ruin the experience if they don't show it. So that's one part of it. If she lied, she just did it for ratings, and she wanted the people who complained to just sit down and relax. And like I said, if that's the case, it's just a bad move, because it shows that they care about these complaints and these people more than their loyal fans and loyal fans of the TV show and the comic book. The second way it could be is that she actually didn't lie and they're gonna tone down the violence. There's a bunch of things wrong with that. One, it's censorship. They've already went out their way to censor Negan so that he doesn't swear as much. Because in the comics, Negan swears like a sailor. But in the show, of course, AMC doesn't allow them to have Negan swear that much. So they've already toned down Negan to an extent because of this censorship for his dialogue. Now, if they're gonna go out their way and censor the violence of the show as well, now, I don't think the violence is a problem, because it's a tool for telling the story. So when you're telling the story, you need the violence to be there. In a post-apocalyptic world, you're not gonna have everyone just be happy and no gore, no blood, and everything be happy. In that world, you're gonna see people die. You're gonna see a lot of blood. You're gonna see a lot of harsh and unsettling things. But that's just the reality of it. That's just the world they're living in. And it adds to the experience if you see that. If they take that away, then it's not realistic. It's not part of what that world looks like. So if they do that, if they take away this reality and mixing that with the fact that they changed Negan's character a little bit to an extent because he doesn't swear as much, that's just changing the source material. A lot of the source material. And in my opinion, changing all of that in the source material is going to make The Walking Dead be another PC show that's out there, like any other show. And it's just not going to have the same impact. It's not going to have the same effect on the audience as it does right now. So if they do in fact censor it, then the show is going to decline. The success of the show is going to decline. And the show is gonna reach a point where they're just gonna end it because they're not sticking with the source material because it's too bloody, too gory, and because of that they have to do things so that the audience is satisfied, but they also have to do something so that comic readers are also satisfied, and they can't really do that if they can't have the source material in there. So it's going to ruin the show. Now, the other component of this is how are they going to tone down the violence? So for the episodes they've already shot, which is all of the rest of season 7, they can't do much about that. They can take little pieces of gore out, and if they do end up doing this, that's probably what they're going to do. But that means that it may change the story a little bit. Because, for example, if you have the death of someone and it's gory, and if you take that out and you don't really have any scenes explaining what happened that this character died, how are you going to deal with that? Are you just going to reshoot it? I don't think they're reshooting it. That's too expensive. So what are they going to do? Are they just going to take it out? And if they take it out, what is that going to do to the story? You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of ruining the story and changing the story, the source material, that makes this so bad and makes it have such a negative impact. But that's basically my opinions about this. This was probably a long rant, and I don't know if I made sense for most part of it or not, but that's just how I feel. I just hope, whatever the case may be, it's the first option, because there's no win-win situation. Because she went out and actually said that, then it's a loss regardless. But to make it have some win, then it would be for her to be lying, because in that case the story would not be impacted that much and it would still be following the source material, and because of that it's gonna have the same effect on the audience. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.